Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's review, we're finally being able to take a look at the Super 7 TMNT 2003 Ultimates version of the 2003 Turtles. Here they are in their packaging right here. They have the really nice box art, the art from the show, and all the promotional materials. You know, it says the name of the turtle, Michelangelo, the cunning comedian with the nimble nunchaku, and then Leonardo, the selfless slicer with the tenacious twin katana. And then we've got Donatello here in his packaging. Again, really nice artwork down here from the promotional stuff from the show. It says Donatello, the fierce fixer with the bold bow staff. And then finally, we've got Raphael here. Again, really nice box art. Here's a look at the turtle in the packaging. And then it says Raphael, the berserk battler with the savage sigh. So these are all pretty cool. And on the back of each, let's zoom out here a little bit. You'll see some bigger artwork of each of the turtles. So there's Raphael. There's Donatello. There's Mikey. I think that looks really nice. And then you've got Leonardo right there, which also looks really good. So let's go ahead and get these guys cracked open and take a closer look. And here are all four turtles out of their packaging. As you can see, they're all different shades of green. It's like Michelangelo compared to Leonardo, different shade of green. And then you have a different shade of green from Raphael, Donatello, Leonardo, and then Michelangelo. So they're all different shades of green. Very reminiscent of the 2003 show, which is really nice. I actually like when they do this with the turtles. They change their shades of green. Kind of gives them a little bit more of differentiating personalities. Looks good. So just to take a closer look at each of them up close. So first with Leo. Really nice. It's kind of basic matte plastic, but he does have some shading, as you can kind of see there on his hands, on his arms. A little bit of this like darker green, like in the creases of his shell. The sheaths for his swords aren't painted or anything like that in terms of shading, but you do have that there. He has the wristbands and elbow pads. Coming down the legs, you can see a lot more of that shading there, especially on the front of the calves, the shins, and a little bit on the back of the calves and the back of the legs there. Bottom of the feet has a peg hole, and then the top of the feet has some shading as well. The head sculpt on Leo, this is a basic one of just him neutrally smiling, which looks really good. Don't have any complaints there. Then you've got the headband right there as well. Then we take a look at Raph, and his base head is just an angry head. Looks good, nicely painted. He's got some darker shading on the dark green bits, where Leo had it. So on the hands, on the legs, the shins, and then back here on the calves and the back of the leg, some more shading. You can see his shell a lot cleaner because he doesn't have the, spaces for swords on the back. And then he just has the tie in the front, which mine has a little bit of, I don't even know what this is. It looks like either glue or like the plastic is rubbing off. I have no clue. But it's on the front of mine. Hopefully it doesn't happen to the front of yours. And again, all the elbow pads and knee pads are the same. And then taking a look at Mikey, he's got a smiling face out of the package. Looks good. They've all got shading too on this yellow part of the shell. This is a softer plastic, which is nice. Again, he's got nice shading. Again, his shell is more exposed, nothing on the back there. Take a look at the shading on the back of his legs. Then on the front, looks really good. And then the elbow pads and knee pads look really good as well. And then the top of the feet. And then finally we have Donatello. He's got a neutral head. I always liked Donatello's design in this show. Like, I just thought he looked really nice. This shoulder over here is like a shiny spot. I'll have to coat it with some Mr. Hobby to get that back matte. And mine, unfortunately, has this, I don't even know, black scuffage. Maybe I can get that off with the Mr. Clean Eraser. I hope I don't end up taking off any of the shading or matte finish on this figure, but that's kind of annoying. But as you can see, And I put some water on, or dunked him in some hot water just because he was a little stiff. So that's where the water droplets are coming from. But he's got all the shading as well. Got the wrapper on his waist, and then he's got the slot for his bow staff right there, and the bandana in the back. And again, you can kind of see his shading a lot clearer on his green as well. Nice muscle definition. Looks really good. Alright, so for articulation, all these turtles are the same pretty much, so we'll just do it with the leader. So with the head, he can look up about that much. The shell gets in the way. The shell is like, it's kind of hardish soft. Like, it's not squishy, but you can move it if you need to, but it doesn't go anywhere. So do with that what you will, but his head looks up about that much. Looks down about that much. He can get nice side to side. And of course you can turn it all the way around if you want to. The bandana can come off, so you can move that around if you want to as well. For the shoulders, this is my first time having a Super 7 figure. I just want to preface that. So if I'm missing any tips and tricks with how to utilize their articulation, please let me know down in the comments below. But his shoulders go up about this high. You can kind of see in here where they've got it carved out, where it looks like it could be a butterfly joint, but it's not. If you rotate I think it's like if you rotate the joint, you can kind of get it to come forward, and if you want to do some different poses that way. And then if you rotate it backwards, you can get his arm to move back a little bit more, and then kind of come together. But they're really, honestly, just going to go for it about this much in terms of any kind of butterfly action. He does have a swivel up here at the top, or like right before you reach the elbow wrap, and then you have another one down here at the forearm. He does have double jointed elbows, which mine are really stiff. That one does not want to go. Let's try this one. That's the problem with some of these domestic figures, is like, man, they're always so stiff when you get them out of the package. It's like, I just don't, sometimes I don't feel like heating them up. But this is the range on that elbow when you get it to go all the way. It's pretty good. You can get him to, you know, cross his arms a little bit. Then he does have an upper bicep swivel. And then for the torso, this top piece, I wonder if I can move it, doesn't go anywhere, but this bottom piece, kind of like if you've had NECA TMNT figures before, it does move around, so you can twist this if you want to, for whatever reason. But it doesn't come as far forward as like if you were posing in NECA, where this kind of comes forward a little bit more. Doesn't do that. His legs are on these interesting hip joints that are ratcheted. So in order to get him to do the splits, they go out about that far. So you want him to do like a kick straight up. That's possible. And then kicking forward, looking about that far. He does have double jointed knees. They look pretty good. Don't have any grabs with that. He does have a thigh swivel up here. There is this, like, depending on how you're moving him, because this is a harder plastic, even though this is soft, you will end up kind of scratching up the plastic up there, which is not great. I wish they would have just made this softer or carved out some more space for, you know, the leg to move, so you don't have to worry about that. You do have a swivel above the knee, and then there's another swivel below the knee down here. Don't really know what that's for, but because once you bend the leg, it doesn't really move too much, but I guess if you need it, there it is. For the feet, they're also kind of ratcheted, so going forward all the way down, and then going forward all the way up, and as you can see it's kind of stressing the plastic there as well. I've never had a Super 7, but some of these QC issues or just issues with their engineering in general is kind of disappointing. But here's the ankle rocker. Looks really good, so you can get them in a wide pose. But yeah, if you're not worried about QC issues and scraping plastic, then they're pretty fun to pose around. But yeah, just some of these things, it's just like, ah, boy, they could have definitely done that a little bit better, but the sort of improved articulation is really nice. I like it. And all the turtles articulate the same way, so there's no big difference. So with the articulation out of the way, let's take a look at some of their accessories. One other thing about the articulation I forgot to mention was that their hands have two different hinge styles, so they hinge up and down. Well, they're kind of stiff, so I'll just pull it off so we can show you. But they hinge up and down. And then you also have ones that go in and out. And that's for the fisted hands. But they're stuck. So you gotta heat those up as well. I also hate the peg style of hands. Like, I hate them on NECAs as well, because I've broken quite a few of these, and it wasn't even, you know, from being rough. It was literally like, oh, you heat it up, you think it's gonna be good, and then bam, the plastic is soft, and then it just kind of bends or snaps or warps. So yeah, I don't like that style of articulation. Wish they would just go with, you know, a ball peg or, you know, a mushroom end, and then you can just put the hand on them. Alright, so for their accessories, you see you've got a ton of stuff here. I also have the exclusive heads from Super 7. So starting off with the head sculpts, for Raphael you get one that's more yelling, and his bandana piece is, you know, flowing out there. And then you do get this teeth gridded one. The teeth gridded one comes with the figure normally, and then the yelling one is from the intro sequence from Super 7. For Michelangelo, this is his intro sequence head, so he's winking at the camera. His bandana is also one that's kind of flowing in the wind. Let me see if I can put that back on there. Or maybe not. The peg might actually be too short to put this on there. It's not like it broke off inside. It's literally like you can't even grab it to, like, I don't even know why the peg would be wiggled out. Anyways, I guess I have to contact Super 7 to try to get a replacement head, because this isn't great. His head that he comes with just for the normal release is this normal smiling head, or just calm smiling head, which looks good. For Donatello, he has this really nice teeth gridded face that comes with the base figure. So this is nicely painted and sculpted. Has the hole there, so you can put the bandana in. And then his exclusive face is this one. Looks really nice, very expressive. I like these expressive Donatello faces. And then he has the headband right there. Let me put this back in here. And then for Leonardo, his intro face, I forgot, is literally just him with his eyes squinted a little bit more. So like comparing this to, let me take this off. The one that he comes with, it's just a little bit more squinted. And the expression is a little more neutral. Like, he kind of has a smirk over here. He's kind of more neutral here. I get why they did it, because it's like, you know, if you sell Leonardo and he doesn't have like a neutral face out of the package and it's an exclusive, and some people might not want that, so you get people that are upset that he has that he doesn't come with it. So I get it, but I also wish that I could have got a more expressive Leo face, like pack him with another face, because his other face that he comes with, just out of the basic accessories, is this one where he's kind of like smirking, which is awesome, but like a yelling face, a commanding face would have been cool. So these are all three of his head sculpts, which is like cool, okay, but kind of got two of the same face, although I know where, you know, this one comes from. And then for hands, they all come with the same hands. Coming with the same hands is actually a gripe of mine I have with TMNT figures, because the turtles are expressive. They all have their own personality, so just having them come with the exact same hands is not great. I understand it's a lot to mold in, you know, different colored plastic, but yeah. So they each come with a pair of these like splayed open action hands, and these ones have hinges that go in and out. And then they each come with a pair of fists. So at least they come with a pair of fists. But I wish, you know, Mikey might have come with like a peace sign hand. Mine has like a chunk of plastic taken out of it. Or Donatello from the intro comes with like the thumbs up when he's riding in the is it the turtle van he's riding in? He does like a thumbs up to the camera. That would have been cool. But yeah, and then their base hands are these open hands for gripping their weapons. And then these have up and down hinges. But yeah, different hand accessories would have been really nice for these guys. At least one distinct hand per turtle. That's completely fine. Raphael could have had like another thumb pose hand where he's like pointing to himself, or like a pointer finger. Leonardo could have had like a commanding type pointing finger type hand. That would have been great. But you know, it is what it is. Maybe they'll release like an accessory pack, but I don't know what the way Super 7 is headed at the moment. For weapons, this is Donatello's bow staff. Looks really nice. Has the purple wrap, dark wood. It's really good. These are Raph's size. They're kind of like a milky white plastic, and they've got like the red wrap with the gold on the hilt. I'm not a fan of these, to be honest. They kind of look like, I don't know. I don't know, they just look really cheap. Michelangelo does have his nunchucks that have like a little chain, which is pretty cool. These look nice. Then he does come with the accessory. He comes with 2 of these actually for each one. The accessory to make it look like he's spinning them, which is sweet. I know the Mezcos only came with 1, which is just like, why would you only give him 1? He has 2 nunchucks. And then each of the turtles comes with a turtle comm, which I always liked the turtle comm back in watching this show. I always thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, they come with that. And then one other cool thing that Donatello comes with is his goggles. So if you want to put his goggles on his head, you can. You can kind of rest them over his eyes. It's a softer rubber plastic, so it doesn't really sit, but you could probably, if you wrap it around or put it underneath his bandana, so like the bandana's preventing it from falling down, you could get it to kind of like sit on top of his head like that, which is pretty cool. So yeah, those are all the accessories they come with. Oh, how could I forget the most important accessory for the leader, his swords. So Leonardo comes with 2 of these swords. Again, bare bones plastic like Raphael's size here, which I'm not a fan of. I know they're trying to make it look like the cartoon, but like some cartoon shading would have been nice. Literally just like a line that shows like a shine or something would have been good. But it's wrapped in the blue to the hilt and has the gold on the end. The shape is nice and they fit into the scabbard with no issue. That looks pretty cool. But I'm going to take a moment and show you something that I think I'm going to pose all these guys with on my shelf. So these are not accessories that come with these turtles. Just for record's sake, these are accessories that come with the Mezco turtles. And these are the Mezco Toon ones. So this is the sword that comes with the Mezco Leonardo. Yes, they're loose in the sheath, but... and they're going to be loose in his hand because they're thinner. You could probably do this with the NECA turtles as well. If you like their weapons, you could have him hold them. But I just like the way that looks in the sheath. Like, I think that looks cool. Like, having him with these swords is sick. Let's see if Raphael... and this is like the first thing I thought of when I got these turtle figures. I'm like, man, I could take the Mezco stuff and give it to these guys. It's like, these are the Mezco size. And like, they're painted silver. They look good. You could definitely just have him put these in his belt if you want to. I think that looks pretty cool. Then I want to see, is the hilt thick enough for him to hold them? Kind of, actually. So you could definitely hold these. One thing I will warn you about is that the inside of these hands, I've noticed, because I had them holding like a piece of pizza, they do rub off. Like, the paint will rub on the inside of these hands, so just be careful if you're trying to do something like this. The paint will rub, so be careful of that. For Michelangelo, of course, you can get him to hold the nunchucks from the Mezco version. I don't really think I want to swap out Donatello's bow staff. This is the bow staff for the Mezco Donatello for the cartoon, and then this is the 2003. I think the 2003 is good enough. It looks good. But if you want Michelangelo to have the bendy wire nunchucks, he can hold them. Let me put this in his hand. But yeah, he can hold these, so you can give him these. And then, of course, they fit into the belt here, so there's like some extra room in his belt. So you can literally just bend these up like that. And kind of slot one in. And then keep the other one out if you want to. But yeah, this is, I think, I'm going to give most of the turtles these accessories just for display purposes, just because I like the way they look. The only sad part is, of course, Leonardo's swords are a little too thin, so you can't hold them. They can also hold these little dagger pieces if you want them to. Of course, they can't hold the kunai or the small little shuriken because they're too small. But they can hold these little climbing dagger things if you want to. Just got to stretch their hands a little bit. I guess they might be able to slot this in between their fingers. It's just kind of like a balancing act for the shuriken. But yeah, they're not going to be able to hold that naturally. The kunai can't hold that naturally either. You're going to have to just wedge that in between the fingers. But also with this, since the Super 7 doesn't come with any kind of like effect pieces, you can use any of the effect pieces that the Mezco comes with. So the slash effects for the sword, you can give them the pizza, you can give them these climbing claws, you can give them these like hook blades. They hold them and they work pretty well. So that's just a hot tip. If you have the Mezco turtles and you just want to spruce up these Super 7s, again, be on the lookout for paint rub with the Super 7 because that is something that I have uncovered. But for the base offering, I mean, the Super 7 turtles, it's fine. I guess I don't really know what else I would give them besides, you know, extra hands, another face for Leo that's not so stoic. And again, I mean, the weapons, they're fine. The weapons are fine. I guess it's just up to preference. Like, they're trying to stay true to the cartoon, so that's completely fine. I don't really have a problem with that. But I do wish that we could have got, like, a little bit more paint. I mean, I think the only one that really looks good is Donatello's and then Michelangelo's nunchucks. But, yeah, I get what they were trying to do. Just wish we had a little bit more in this department. So, yeah. So let's get into some size comparisons and compare them with other turtle figures in my collection. Alright, so for size comparisons, just real quick, here they are sized all next to each other. They're basically the same height. There's no huge difference. Michelangelo and Leonardo are the same height. Leonardo Raphael is the same height. And then Raphael and Donatello are the same height. So there's no differentiation there. And here they are compared to their NECA cartoon counterparts. I know there was like a crossover episode for the 2003 Turtles where they did meet their cartoon counterparts. So if you have these turtles, you can definitely use them. Or if you have the Style Guide version, definitely use them. Or the Pizza Club versions, you can use those as well. But this is how they scale. Again, this Leonardo is going to be taller than the cartoon one. And this Donatello is going to be shorter than his 2003 counterpart as well. But I still think they look pretty cool all together. Like, this is a really nice, you know, crossover type setup. And then here they are compared to their Mezco counterparts, the Mezco cartoon turtles. And just a quick side note, I don't know if it's just mine, but I can never get these guys to like feel like they're standing straight up. But regardless of that fact, they are shorter than the Super 7 2003 turtles, but I still think they look really cool. Like, this would be a really cool crossover photo as well. They're more, you know, realistic. And again, talking about the hand situation, like, I love the way the Mezco turtle hands are. Like, if they could have done that with the Super 7, that would have been immaculate. Would have loved that. But yeah, these guys look really good together. And his belt is falling down, but yep, looks good. And then we have the 2003 Super 7 Raphael compared to a Jada Toys Violent Ken, and then a Storm Collectibles Skullomania figure. This figure is smaller than normal Storm Collectibles, but this Jada Toys Ken will be as tall as the Storm Arena line. So once you get that in hand, these guys will pair up really nicely. But yeah, I still think this looks really good, even though Skullomania is taller than the turtles. I still think it works out as well because they're turtles that are human size, but I mean, Skullomania can be taller as well. And then here is the 2003 Leonardo compared to the NECA 1980s movie Leonardo, and then the Mafex Batfleck that just came out. Again, I think the sizing is pretty nice. The movie version is going to be taller than the 2003 version, and then if you want to pair them up with the Batman, which I think this Batman is the same size as the New Adventures Batman that Mafex did, so if you want more of like a cartoon look, you could definitely pair them together, and that would be a pretty cool display as well. For those of you interested in the SH Figuarts comparison, here he is standing next to the Frieza Saga Vegeta and then the Full Power Super Saiyan Son Goku. Again, I think they look really good. Of course, he's going to be at least as tall as Goku. He's a pretty big figure, and then Vegeta is always going to be shorter. And last but not least, here he is standing next to, here's the 2003 Michelangelo standing next to a Marvel Legends Iron Man and a Marvel Legends Animated Series Spider-Man. Again, these guys will work perfectly with your Marvel Legends line. They scale really nicely. And because of the cartoony aesthetic, they'll fit right in. So yeah, you do all your crossovers that you want with these guys. Looks good. So for my final thoughts, I like these turtles. I mean, I feel like we're probably going to get only these versions of these turtles from Super 7. I don't know if, or I don't think another line will go ahead and tackle these again and give it to us. I mean, I guess the only other company I would want to do this would probably be Revoltech. I really liked their 2012 turtles that they did. I thought those were really cool, highly articulated, pretty fun to pose, and had some fun accessories. But I think this is as good as we're going to get for the 2003 line. If you really love the 2003 turtle designs, again, there's a lot of things that could have gone better with these figures. The QC issues with the head sculpts, the scraping of the plastic when you're articulating them. For $55, they definitely should have been a lot tighter on that. As well as, you know, the paint deco on the weapons, especially not making Raphael and Leonardo's blades look like just clear Playmates level plastic, or like, you know, you just pull them off a sprue and there you go, you got a sword and a sai. I think they could have done better with that. I would have loved to have different hands that are more expressive for, you know, their respective turtle. That would have been great. And then, of course, having the two kind of more stoic heads for Leo, although I get it, it's from the intro sequence, but I still think he could have came with a different head that's a little bit more, you know, angry or battle ready. That would have been cool. But overall, aesthetic wise, I mean, these guys are great. They'll pose great on the shelf. They'll look nice on the collection. And if you're really a fan of this show, I grew up watching it, definitely worth a pickup for me. Wave 2, I'm fingers crossed that Master Splinter and Casey are awesome. Those are the two I pre-ordered. I don't really want Shredder. I don't think he's going to pose well. But if he proves me wrong, then I'll pick him up afterwards. But yeah, Wave 2, I'm only grabbing 2 of those guys. But I'm really glad to have all 4 of these turtles. And doing these little hacks with the Mezco turtle weapons. They've kind of elevated these guys for me, but it sucks you have to have those in order to, you know, do that. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Did you guys pick this up from Super 7? Are you getting them from Entertainment Earth to get the 10% off? Or do you just want to pass on these and hope that another company comes along and makes them? I know we have those Lin Hu turtles, I think? I forgot what the company's called, but they're super muscular, look like they're going to be super articulated. And those are coming this year as well, so I'll be reviewing those when they pop out and see which turtles this year kind of take the cake. But realistically, I'm really excited to make a classic cartoon shelf like with these, the Mondo Ghostbusters, putting like the Batman New Adventures Mafex figure up there. Like, I'm really looking forward to kind of having a shelf or a display with that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know down in the comments below how you feel about these guys. Take care and have a great rest of your day.